Drew will be here in a little bit. Oh, I'm going to stream. No. No. That would be nice. I'm going crazy inside this house. Yeah, I'll ask. I'll ask. It'd be nice. I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind. Hey, everyone. Let's see. Drew will be here in just a bit. Nope, not that one. Wait. Oh, I didn't hit that on loop. That's why. All right, where are you? There we go. You gotta have that.
This is my country, my damn country. Give me my country. You can keep the rest. This is my country.
Yeah, losing. Yeah, lost. Yeah, absolutely. Damn, lost my mind. This feels like everything's in closing. This is the pre-feed. This is right before Drew gets here. I don't know. He's coming in. I'm sure he's coming in. Oh, I probably haven't done my job. You gotta let him in. My country, my damn country. This is my country. This is my country, my damn country. This is yeah, it's the Dallin show. It's the Dallin down by a river playing some of his songs. Favorite songs. Sweet. I like this one. I'll play another one, too. I'll do things. I'll show some of my things I like to look at. That's what I'll do. Because we're waiting. Yeah, we all knew it would happen. We all knew it would get to this. We'll do a little meta. Oh, let's see. I got to take off the Drew head there. There we go. Okay, what song next? Let's see. What do I like? I like the Babbling Brook, that's for sure. That was a weird song. Yeah, it definitely could be worse. Wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Why'd you stop, water? What? Supposed to loop. Let's see this one. Let's see if this story's interesting. North Korea's Kim suspends plans for military action. This is like one of those filler stories. The thing about North Korea is they never really have any new news. If there's new news, you see it from more than one source. I guarantee you this is just a single source. North Korea, just as North Korea, they don't really care about other people. They don't care about the South. Freebird? I don't have licensing for that. These are all Dallon's licensed knockoff songs. Oh, you know what? I want to go to the Photoshop. I was like looking at that. Let's see what we got. Photoshop this bug with a bulge. I have no idea what it could look like, but we're gonna see. I don't know. What could I do with that? I'd probably turn this into something. I'd probably turn that into a toe of someone big. Looks like it's squashing that. A lot of pauses. I hope it's not me. I think I'm running smooth. Let's see. Water slide mounts. I could actually do this while I'm sitting here. Yeah, what the hell? Let me find one that's good. Don't care. That one's too easy. You put anything right there, too easy. Curious critter. I don't mind that. Nothing's coming to me yet. No. Come on, these are not great submissions. That one's not bad. I usually like to see something happen. Again, this one I could put a lot. I actually live not too far from the Tetons, so this one's somewhat fitting. Which one do I take? I kind of like him. But again, a little easy. Any guy taking a photo, you just stick something risky there. Risque. Leaping bear. Not bad. Not bad on this one. Let's do this one. Okay, open up my Photoshops. Alright, I gotta move it to the screen. Let's see. Okay, I'll do that. Let's crack this sucker open. It's not compatible. What? What is this? WebP. Google's WebP? Come on. Alright, here's another thing. Make the images easy. No worries. I've got abilities. This is what I should do. This is fascinating streaming down by the river. Okay, now I got my bear. Here we go. The tough thing about this one, he's got a lot of water spraying around, but one. You know what? I just thought Drew could be trying to get in here. He is. Hey, Drew, I'm just trekking along here. Let me add you in the audio. There we go, Drew. You there?
Yes. Am I sideways?
Yeah, you're sideways. And you're a little low. Probably the mic proximity, maybe.
I can't hear the music on this one, but I could hear it just fine when I was low on the Twitch.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? I changed my Fark setup because I did something else the other day.
Yes.
Should hear it now.
All right. But now I have that echo.
Son of a gun. All right. I got to take this over to this. Should be better now.
All right, let's see. Yes. No echo. I can hear music.
Like magic.
I hear
magic.
Waterfalls.
You should. You should. Let me throw you on, Drew.
All right.
Ooh, don't move that one. Stupid.
We'll start sending you links here in a second.
Okay. I'll move you into position.
This is good Watermelon music.
Yeah, it is good.
I feel like it's traveling or something.
Yeah. Things are happening.
As usual. All right, I'm going to text you some stuff. Here it comes.
I was starting to do a Fark Photoshop contest.
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought would be something I could definitely stream in the future.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people would be interested in seeing it.
Yeah, yeah. Ask people what their thoughts are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a giant head. Don't go chasing waterfalls, Drew.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, I'll get back to that bear another time. Maybe we'll stream with that later. Well, we got Drew.
Yep, I'm still sending you this stuff.
Okay, I'm going to put you... I'll get you set in this car. This van. Thanks. I can't remember who said it yesterday, but they said a van down by the river, and it was such a great recommendation.
Yeah.
Had to add it.
Totally. So this is going to be strangely news heavy. I mean, it's not going to be less funny. It's odd how the really funny stuff is in the quick hit section. So that's going to be a new format we're going to try here.
Yep. Quick hit. We have quick hit. Quick thoughts about stuff.
Yes.
And we give our thoughts on it. Stuff like that. Well, definitely head as big as the windshield. Yeah. No.
All right.
This has worked out very well. We've Drew used to come over all the time. In fact, I was just talking with Natalie, though, about how I'm getting very stir crazy, and I don't like everything going back to shutdown levels.
Yeah. Not here yet, but man, we'll be talking about that. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's not looking promising.
No. So, yeah, I'm definitely, like, not excited. Not excited at all. Okay, I'm going to start popping these stories in, folks. Let's see.
Yeah.
What's some new music? Let's see. Let's go.
Some traveling music. Just have to
No, I don't want that.
make sure I know where my divide is here. Alright, so I think. There we go. Let's see here. So quick hits are up until there. Okay. All right, there you go. I got your bookmarks.
All right, here we go.
I got your book ends rather around the quick hit.
Okay.
And then there's two more after it.
Okay.
All right.
Load these suckers.
There we are.
We're in the loading process, folks.
Yes, I promised everybody on the newsletter that we were going to test an embed today. Well, we are, but it's no different from yesterday, and nobody complained, so we should be all right. So that doesn't really constitute a test, I don't think.
I think this song kind of works for a van down by the river.
It does, actually, yeah. Seems a bit like it.
Okay, where did I... All right. Okay, there we go.
See, Net Weaver's in there. He's a good submitter. That's been really interesting, too, about the live stream is the number of, like, really, like, top submitters that have been showing up. I guess people are bored or whatever.
So, like, I already did my submitting work for the day. Now
Yeah.
it's time to see the fruits of my labors.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, This Ain't Dead has been, like, crushing it on geek submissions lately. So they're actually so good. I've been cross-posting to the main page because I feel like Maine's been, like, coronavirus and riots because that is kind of what's going on. But, man, there's a lot of good geek stuff. I actually got a good article in there, too, that I found today. It's probably the least interesting to everybody else, but I'll tell you why I think it's interesting. Because I wasn't able to explain that when I put the link up.
Awesome. Let's see.
Yeah.
This is a strong list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the quick hits are good. So to give everybody an idea what the quick hits are, I was explaining to Dallin the other day that there's a lot of articles I spike because all you can really do is just run the headline and go, and that happened. And because there isn't anything else, it's not complicated. But then I realized maybe there's a way to squeeze a separate segment in where we both say one thing about it and just go on to the next, which we don't have to do fast, by the way, but that's literally all there is to do. We don't have to, run it for 5 minutes or anything. So.
Sounds awesome. All right, we're almost at 3 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
almost
wait for
there.
Meg to turn it on. We'll know when the viewers spike. One thing I try to track down, which is kind of funny, is that when we run so what she's doing is she's doing the embed without autoplay anything. And I'm kind of curious because I think Twitch's stats on the back end are screwed. Like it doesn't usually notice us sending traffic.
Yeah.
But that's clearly where everybody came from because we only had 20 to 40 people otherwise. And then we run that and it's like 300, 400. Or the first time we did it where we totally botched it, we had like 2,000. But that's a whole different story. Anyway, so but it doesn't seem to know that it's coming from us. And not only that, but there's one data point that I'm kind of curious about, which is it says that almost all of the traffic's coming from mobile. Now, at first I saw that and I was like, okay, that's wrong. But then I realized, well, wait a minute, the way the layout looks on mobile is way more conducive. Like what it does is it opens the link expanded, and then it says, hey, there's a live stream, and then there it is in line. And if you punch that, and I think maybe that's a data point that might be correct, maybe because when we put it on the desktop, it goes where the Fark and Schnitt logo goes.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily stand out because we're all used to not paying attention to stuff that appears there. So
Right.
So
Well,
we'll figure this out.
it's all a game. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully better than my attitude. Attitude's just crap today.
There you go.
So I'll improve.
Yeah.
I will push
There you
through.
go. Just try hard. That's all. And if you suck, it's okay. It's just like going to the gym. You don't have to do it well. You just have to do it.
You know what was funny about yesterday's news is we did that story on Louisville and
Yeah. And then it got worse.
then I was watching. I sat down to watch the news as old men are wont to do from their cushy chair, which I did. And yeah, it looked a lot worse than what they were saying later.
Yeah,
And
it went to crap in the last hour. That's actually going to be the first thing we'll talk about tonight. But yeah, doing a little redux there. Yeah, they had it until the last 15 minutes, and then things got really squirrely.
yeah.
But that not bad for the day, though. That's the sort of the TLDR on that one, but it's not too bad. Yeah, as far as today goes, I mean, I'm feeling okay right now, but man, this is my Tuesdays and Wednesdays just go long, man. It's I'm pulling 9 hours up until I hit 4 o'clock just so I can get some time to do everything else I didn't get around to between 4 and 6, and then I'm done. I'm like, ah. But luckily tonight is trivia night with the parents from the kids' school.
That makes a difference.
They're a bunch of heavy drinkers, and Rolling Oven Pizza in the town I live in has got they're next to the library, and the library, I mean, it's closed anyway, but even when the library is not closed, it doesn't use much of that parking lot. So they took over the whole damn thing and put all their picnic benches 20 feet apart.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you're welcome to come if you want. I can't guarantee you won't get COVID, but they seem clean. I mean, so, you know.
I do have an awesome mask.
Yeah.
I got one of those neck socks, and
me
because
too.
it's nice, you can just pull it over. And especially for a beard, it actually covers up everything. But the negative effect is that it looks like I have a giant goiter on my neck.
Well, that's
a
okay.
beard.
People could probably figure it out. I mean, it's not like it's just like, anything you ever do in the gym, it all looks dumb. And I think having a mask on, there's not going to be any cool masks. I mean, maybe somebody will come up with one. But yeah, I got a bunch of those too because you can use those for cycling in cold weather. And I was like, well, with everybody this isn't part of what we're going to cover today, but a few cities in Florida, including Miami and I think Jacksonville, maybe, I'm not sure, just instituted a mask requirement.
Right.
And I was like, well, I better get these things now because it sounds like we're going to need them more than ever pretty soon.
Absolutely.
So,
no, they're great, and it's just always sitting there. Also keeps the sun off your neck. Nice little added bonus.
Your point about it always sitting there is super valid. What I like about it is even when you're not wearing it, it looks like you're trying, or at least you meant to.
You're like, it's on my mind.
It's like, look, I got it, man. I'm just not wearing it right now. I could totally put this thing on, but it's right there. So yeah.
Ox 45 tall boy. My mask is cool. It says, "But her emails." I do like that.
That's a good one. I like that.
That's a good one.
There's supposed to be a butt on it. Yeah, it sounds good. Meg says she's getting the embed going, but it's taking a little bit, so there you go.
Awesome. Now let's talk about this scene because I'm very happy with it.
I know, I like it. That's really good.
With it. We got the motion of the stream down below. We got the Fark logo
calming
as rust on the front of this van.
Oh, yeah, that's subtle.
And then, of course, we've got our streaming logo. And what you don't see is just the party going back on in this van. You don't see that.
Yeah. There's all kinds of people in the back. They're socially distanced, though, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's wearing masks and, streaming. There we go. I didn't even get that. They spelled it streaming. Which,
Yeah, streaming in a stream.
He's got a bit of an accent.
It's very lovely.
Indeed.
So we're just
there are some properties along the Kentucky River you can buy that are probably only big enough to park a van like that on.
Hey, sounds nice and delightful. Now, you owned some land here in Lexington for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I got rid of it because we bought it years ago during the downturn because I was like, it'd be nice to build a house out in the country. And then 10 years later, I'm like, I don't want to live in the country. That's stupid. But it turned out to be a really good savings account because, you got to pay the mortgage. So, we ended up selling that. And then we have a little tiny house in downtown Lexington, like it's 700 square feet. Which is currently unoccupied, but if it was, we wouldn't be making any money on it anyway. Because another story we're not covering, but I saw it was something like 30 or 40% of Americans are at least 2 or 3 mortgage and rent payments late at this point.
Is it really that high?
Yeah.
That one's
they better do another bailout.
Yeah, that's not really been a reported story, I don't think.
Well, it's been out there, but between riots and viruses and
not as sexy.
It's really hard to get that thing up in there. Well, because it hasn't triggered yet. That's the thing. Like the minute they get rid of the eviction ban, boom, that's on, So we'll just wait and see how that goes.
Well, rent seems to be the biggest one. I haven't noticed as much as like a mortgage issue.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see the breakout between those two.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we could Google this, but it's just this is the end of my day. My tolerance for like learning is low at this point. It's like the last thing I need is something really interesting to happen at 6 p.m. Eastern, But it does happen on occasion.
I'm looking at the Fark page, not seeing anything yet.
Yep. You could just tell when the number of viewers jumps. That's when it's on. Meg's transferring it over right now. So we'll wait for that.
Yeah.
Give it a couple extra minutes after that, and then we'll just sort of take off there. But so while we've got everybody here in the small crowd, I posted in the live link. So we need. I was looking at this the other day. So like we're trying to get from Twitch affiliate to Twitch partner, which I guess is awesome, but because we haven't made it, I don't know. But in order to do that, you have to pass certain milestones. And one of the milestones that we blew completely out of the water with our kind of botched embed test last Friday was it's because we had 2,000 concurrent viewers and a total audience of 24,000 people, but you couldn't turn the damn thing off.
Right.
But you needed an average of 75 people over the course of a month every time you live stream. Well, that was so many damn people that we've got it.
Nice.
So now that we have that locked down, the only other one we need is we need more hours. They want you to do 25 hours of streaming in a rolling 30-day period, and we've been going about 3 days a week, but for like an hour or less. And so the problem is we need to get that time up so we could get that last hurdle, so then we can just like totally slack off and never hit it again. So we've been thinking about stuff we could do. So for example, Dallin just mentioned while we were doing the warm-up that maybe a little Photoshop tutorial might not be a bad idea because he's pretty good at it, as you can see going on in the background there.
I can turn things. I can
making this tiny bear go nuts.
Yeah.
We also thought about Dallin and I we like playing video games, but we're not gamers, and we haven't played hardly anything. And so we thought, well, maybe we could be really terrible at playing a popular video game. So we're looking for input on that. Yeah, and I always want to call it Oxtail Boy. Yeah, more audience games would be a great idea. I like that too.
Yeah, that was fun.
That is to stretch it out.
Yeah.
So we need some more ideas. Something we could play terribly. So I've got a couple of weird, edgy games. Somebody suggested Hand Simulator, which I haven't looked up, but I hope it's as good as Goat Simulator because that was awesome. I was just thinking we could do Fortnite because I've never played it. That looks like it's a lot of fun. Yeah, GTA, that'd be a good one. I've never played it. Again, like I know what all these are. Doesn't have to be popular. Preferably something that'd be weird and hard for me and Dallin to be good at right out of the gate. And like anything that it's fun to watch noobs be terrible at, that's what we're looking for.
Also, I would be willing to take on people in Connect 4. I am a Connect 4 champion.
Oh, very good.
Champion. I do not lose. It's one of the rare things that I have a skill at. I could set up the board right here, and you could just tell me the number. I could play somebody in the comments. That's what we could do.
So strip poker is an interesting suggestion. We can't do that unless there's body painting involved, according to the Twitch terms of use, which is interesting that actually works. I used to actually flag our channel as body painting, but I think we had a lot of disappointed people cruising in and out. Sorry, it looks like our stream's on because it looks like we got close to 400 people in the audience right now, so that seems to have worked.
That's great. I was just all right. So what I'm working on, I'm thinking I kind of want the bear hugging Jesus in some way, or raising him up, or something like that.
Don't you have a piece of work that has that already? That's got to exist.
Right. Yeah, there's things. So I want to do something like that where he's jumping to him. Or that
works. Yeah, or like having Jesus holding his arms out.
I got to find one.
He's trying to catch him or
that's
something.
what I'm going to work on later. But
yeah,
since we have everyone here, we might as well start with the news, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's kick it off. Let's fire this sucker up.
The unofficial number of people who voted early in person before Election Day is 110. Anyways, this is a long one. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You tell us
it's a
about
long
it,
one.
Drew.
Yeah, so this is kind of a follow-up. So yesterday, Kentucky had its statewide election, and the only reason we're talking about it is because we live in Kentucky, but also because over the weekend, a bunch of celebrities and people that don't live here started making a fuss about voter suppression. The problem is that what they'd actually done in Kentucky is they let us all get mail-in ballots, and it looks like about 80% of us did. The problem is that because so many people signed up for mail-in ballots, like they had more people that got mail-in ballots than actually voted in 2016.
Right.
They decided that maybe we didn't need as many polling places, and so they limited it to one per county. Problematic because the city of Lexington, population, give or take 500,000, and the city of Louisville, give or take 1.2 million, are in one county each, and only had one polling place, and so everybody's like, oh my God, voter suppression. Okay, well, so Louisville put theirs in a convention center that'll hold 100,000 people, and all day long, and including yesterday at 1 o'clock, the longest line they had by at that point was 4 people on the inside. The longest line they actually saw, though, was about 50 deep, and that was because somebody pulled a food truck out front. And I'm not kidding. That actually happened, and everybody's like, damn, I could use a burrito right now. I voted. So that ended up being the longest line over there. It's a little more squirrely in Lexington because they thought 4 machines would do it, but 30,000 people showed up, and, you know.
Well, that one was funny. If you had only 4 machines, why did you take it to the stadium? That was uncovered. Why didn't you take that into random parking lot?
Now, they did say they wanted to use Rep Arena downtown, which is where the basketball team plays, but it's currently being knocked down by demolition equipment. So, I mean, the thing's like only half standing at this point, so not suitable for voting. So that gets you caught up to where we were. What happened yesterday after that was, and you'll see that this also is sort of a follow-up to it. So that's actually a photo of the Louisville voting thing. And what happened yesterday was right around 6 o'clock. What happened was there was a big rush because so it turns out the polls closed at 6 in Kentucky to suppress the vote, but that's not something they added recently. That's been around for a while.
It's the dumbest thing. It's like, okay, you work a job, we're going to make you race to wherever it is if you really want to vote.
That's the whole point of it, but that's also not something they just changed. That's been around for a while. Like, we'll change these things one thing at a time. But in Louisville, what happened was everybody who got off at 5 ran over to the convention center and got stuck in traffic. And so they basically called a judge, got an injunction, let them hold the polls open a little bit longer, and a bunch of people got through the end. But here, and also, by the way, we're on track for the highest turnout ever. However, this little tidbit we found. So it turns out that Nelson County, where I can't remember where that is.
We have like 140, right? Counties in
It's
Kentucky?
120, and after Louisville and Lexington, it's like Bowling Green, and that's Warren. So that ain't it. And then there's like Northern Kentucky and whatever, because that's Cincinnati. But so it turns out, I did not know this. Here's some trivia. The head of the GOP in Nelson County is the guy who leaked the Paris Hilton sex tape.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great work.
And he's running against an incumbent for some reason, so that's got to be a hell of a slap fight because, I mean, they got to know each other. Actually, Nelson County is probably Campbellsville, if I'm remembering. Not very big. There's an Amazon fulfillment center there and a military base. Anyway, so it's got to be uncomfortable because in that town, those guys probably know each other. I don't know why they're running against each other. But anyway, the dude who probably committed an act of revenge porn based on current law is currently receiving more in part. Anyway, I just didn't know that guy was from Kentucky, so that's
pretty awesome. That's always on your
go.
byline.
Who knew?
Texas reports record 5,489 new coronavirus cases, 12th consecutive day of record hospitalizations.
The last number is the one that sucks. Also, because that's also the one that matters, too. People have been kind of arguing about what constitutes a case and whether it matters.
Right.
And I can't remember if we talked about this yesterday, because the thing that really matters is whether or not, like, it seems like everybody who gets it, then goes on and maybe infects some other people, but some people are like super spreaders. And so the idea is you want to keep cases down because that way, you can't have a super spreader event. Well, the real measure of how bad things are is how many people are in the hospital when you get right down to it. Yeah, Texas, man. Texas pulling a Florida on us here. They are wide open down there, and it ain't looking good. Go ahead and roll to the next one because I've got sort of a follow-up to both of these.
Coronavirus Florida reports 5,511 new cases of COVID-19, smashing record again.
Yes, I have a buddy of mine I've been sending Florida Hits new record. We actually we've had to retire the "this is not a repeat" gag on Fark because that's been used so much it's getting old.
Yeah.
I've been sending the new record cases to a friend of mine every time it hits, and this is the only thing we ever text about, and I'm getting tired of sending it to him. But yeah, they hit that today too. So what's interesting was I was like, well, so exactly how bad is that? So it turns out that so I pulled New York's numbers, and I was like, when did New York have a scenario like this? New York was hitting 5,000 cases and roughly the same amount of deaths right around a week after they shut everything down. Florida and Texas are both at that level, and everything's wide open, and nobody's wearing masks, and I don't see how this doesn't become a disaster.
Well, I'm glad. I was just mentioning to a friend on this coronavirus talk and new cases and all that. It felt like early on I wasn't seeing any numbers as far as those in the hospital. It felt just okay. You're telling me more cases, but I want to know how bad the cases are. So
yeah, they were bigger numbers at the time. Now the hospitalizations are becoming problematic.
I like seeing the data. So.
Yeah, so there you go. It's like, oh, crap.
New York, New Jersey, Connecticut to quarantine visitors from worse-off states, including Florida. Now, I have a question about this one. Kentucky tried to do this, and it was taken to court, and they were not allowed to do that because you can't tell people to not travel to states. Yeah, you can say it, but you can't cause any kind of penalty for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I don't know whether or not you can legally require them to quarantine, but at any rate, this is interesting because this is kind of a long-running gag, as it turns out. When New York was having the worst of it, Florida governor announced that he was seriously considering banning people from New York. And I guess apparently turnabout's fair play because now that Florida's being Florida, they've decided to the tri-state area is going to try to shut it down. Will it be legal? I don't know, but I mean, it also based on what's going on in Florida. I mean, if you could do it, I think you'd probably want to.
Well, it's going to. Those two states have a lot of traffic between them, so that would be interesting on that.
They do, yeah, especially in the fall.
People are microwaving library books in mass to kill COVID-19, and that's bad. Well,
yeah, so as far as a list of things you shouldn't do, this reminds me of, it was way back. We had an ice storm. We have ice storms about every 5 or 10 years or so that that destroyed the electrical grid for up to a week. And during, it was either the last one or the one before it, our local newspaper had to run a list of articles of things that they couldn't believe they had to tell people not to do, including don't take your gas grill inside and grill on it because gas. And my all-time favorite, don't climb an ice-covered tree with a running chainsaw, which is an awfully specific request if you think about it. So that reminded me of this because this is an awfully specific request. Don't microwave your library books because it's bad. Now, I think that what they're trying to do here is, kill all the coronavirus.
Right.
I mean, hasn't everybody put paper in the microwave at some point and watch that catch fire? I mean, is that an unknown principle to anybody? I guess it is.
I have not, but
okay. Well,
my microwave.
There's a photo of what happens if you want to check it out. It burns into flame.
My microwave story is just that back in the day, my mom would tell us not to look at it because it would fry our eyes. And so I've always accepted that as fact. And I rarely ever look into it. So that's my only.
That's why you didn't see the flames. You were turning around backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My mom scared microwaves for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you want? Yes, I want that. Black Lives Matter protests have not led to a spike in coronavirus cases, research says.
Yeah, so this article is interesting. So there's what the data is, and then there's the conclusions. The data is the data, which says that they looked at 300 of the largest U.S. cities and found no evidence of coronavirus cases.
Right.
Almost everybody was wearing masks. I guess they were socially distant. I don't know. But then when they get into the possible reasons for why this is, aside from mask wearing and social distancing, it was also, and they didn't say this verbatim, but that white people were so scared they didn't go outside. They kind of said that.
That's what they said?
Well, they didn't say it. They said that some people might have been, well, I'm not going to go out into a protest, and so I'm going to stay home. And I'm assuming it's the white people that would be doing that. So I'm putting words into their mouths, but I like my version better.
So they were kind of saying where these protests were, it ended up you had a net less of people out in public.
Yeah, one of their theories was maybe people didn't go outside because there was riots. Okay, well, yeah, sure, stuff's on fire.
All right, I guess so.
Yeah, maybe.
Crowds tear down statues, apparently attack Wisconsin state senator.
Yeah, so, man, this took a while for me to figure out. So what happened was, this is super weird. So the protests have been mostly tearing down statues of, terribly awful, racist people. And, I'm not saying that's like probably the best way to do it, but, I don't mind them being gone. I'll put it like that.
Right.
In fact, today they're taking down the Calhoun statue in Charleston, South Carolina, which blew my mind. Now, it's not the protesters that are doing it because I think the thing's like 200 feet tall. They had to get a crane. But the reason why is interesting. So there's a law. I mean, a lot of states have them, like Kentucky does. Like it's a law. I don't know how it's worded. The wording matters. But basically the reason why we had so many Confederate statues, aside from the fact that, morons put them up in the 1930s to scare black people,
right,
was that it was a felony to tear one down and nobody really wanted a felony. So at any rate, or actually it was a felony if you tried to do it twice was the loophole. So I guess if you had a group of people that showed up on alternate nights, you could probably get away with it.
You get one freebie.
They passed a law like that in South Carolina where you could not tear down a war memorial. And it turns out John C. Calhoun never fought in the Civil War. So down that's coming. So they got a crane. I think it's down. They were trying to take it down last night, but they kept on finding heavier things it was attached to. Anyway, so that was there. But anyway, overhead in Wisconsin, apparently Madison, Wisconsin has the dumbest protesters because they pulled a couple of faux pas last night. First of all, aside from the statue problem that we'll get to in a minute, they also attacked an openly gay state senator who was out there to support him and sent him to the hospital. Whoops. The second thing is they knocked down a statue of a guy who was an abolitionist, a strong abolitionist who died fighting for the Union during the Civil War. They knocked it down. They threw it in the lake in downtown Madison.
Well,
because they can't read or use Google, apparently.
Nobody's checking it out. It probably gets down to that mob mentality where it's just like, I see a tall thing, let's tear this down.
Yeah,
where's
probably,
the historian to give us the background on this sculpture?
Nobody Googled it. They should have checked that one out. That was a keeper. Oh, well. I mean, they could put up a better one now, I guess, if they want to. So there you go.
The historic Saharan Dust plume is darkening skies in the Caribbean and will soon stretch into the U.S. All right.
Yeah, can't wait for this, huh? The good news is it's going to drop the UV index, so you don't have to wear as much sunscreen. The bad news is it's pretty big. I've been getting asked by this all week long. I've got 40,000 followers that I think are 16 years old and came over from TikTok. That I mean, I'm not telling people I'm a time traveler, but I can't convince them I'm not. And they want to know how this is going to go. So I just post links to CNN. I'm like, here you go, guys. And they're like, oh my God, he's a time traveler. I'm like, no, I just read CNN. Anyway, so what this is, apparently this happens every year. This one's really big. It's so big. If you scroll down, I think this article.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Photo.
I got the one from the space, which, yeah, definitely looks muddy. If that really is, I assume, since it's coming from Colonel Doug Hurley, I guess he's an astronaut.
Yeah, he's taking that photo out the window. He's up on the ISS, apparently, or on one of our secret military platforms that the government is.
Or a studio somewhere. A studio set.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's photoshopped this sucker. Anyway, that thing's coming right for us. It's going to hit Texas here in a little bit. And actually, I greened this twice because there was a better headline submitted that said "Dust in the wind over Kansas" on Thursday, and I'm like, okay,
that's good.
Give me that one. That's pretty good. So there you go. It's hitting us on Friday. So if you look up in the sky, and it's a little brown. That's not just you. That's Saharan Dust plume. So there you go. It'll pass.
Omerg says, saw like a week or two ago, this could help diffuse hurricane season some. That would be interesting
I
if
hope
it just
so.
did that. Yeah,
it's better than nuclear weapons. I'll tell you that right now.
Wait, we don't know that. We don't know it until we try it. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm all for trying.
There we go.
Court, Montana family owns dinosaur fossils worth millions. Nice.
Yeah. So this is a boring article, but I thought it was kind of neat. So what happened was that there's fossils all over in Montana, and also Montana, apparently like Kentucky and a bunch of other places, was exploited in the 19th century by energy companies that came in and just bought the mineral rights, not the property.
Right.
And the dumbasses that owned it were like, sure, go ahead, take it. What's underneath this thing? Who knows? Why would an oil company want to buy mineral rights? There can't be anything here. And that's why Kentucky's not Texas, by the way. That's why Eastern Kentucky is a poor, impoverished hellhole with some bright spots and some decent restaurants if you get out to Pikeville. That's why we're not Texas, because nobody there owns any of it. Anyway, so that happened in Montana. And the lawsuit in particular turns out there's a type of mineral called a dinosaur fossil that people will pay millions for. And there's been a lawsuit going on for a while because a bunch of guys in Montana found a T-Rex skeleton, or a couple of them, that were worth, let me see, it's down here at the bottom, lots of millions of dollars. There you go. Drew a bid of $5.5 million in 2014, failing to reach the $6 million reserve price. Because I guess, hell, I'd have been like 5.5, take it.
Right. I would absolutely be like, on second thought, dude.
Yeah, it's close enough. I'm not doing anything with this. But I got something in my backyard. I don't care what it is. Two dinosaurs hugging each other, take it. Anyway, so what happened was that somebody else owns the mineral rights and tried to get a chunk of this, and basically they got a court to basically rule that even though dinosaur fossils are technically minerals, they were not what was envisioned in the contract that sold the mineral rights. Right. Those were for energy, I guess. Right. Anyway, whatever the argument was, it worked out for these guys, and if I was them, I'd go back to that guy who tried to pay $5.5 million and be like, hey, you guys, you still want that.
You can do it.
Yeah.
An online battle is raging between Nazis and My Little Pony fans.
Yeah, so this has been going around, and in fact, I feel like people who read Fark would probably know more than anybody else that, they're My Little Pony fans are kind of. We actually have a little brony group that meets every Saturday to watch the new episodes when there were new episodes. The title of this article really ought to be "Every Small Group Devoted to Anything Has a Nazi Problem," including like knitting clubs and whatever. Because there's always somebody there. It's like we're all here to knit, but there's that one guy who's like, you know what, Hitler had a point, and you're like, no, we're here for knitting, damn it. Case in point, the online kind of social network, or I guess it was a community called Ravelry, which is about knitting and sharing patterns and all that.
Wow.
Ends up having they had to ban political talk because everybody wanted to talk about Trump instead of knit. And that caused it. So anyway, so it turns out that the bronies, and in particular, I think they're talking about subreddits here. They're not talking about Fark because I would have heard about it. But apparently it's baked in. Like there's a lot of, if you scroll down, you can see some of it. You can see like Rainbow Dash holding the Confederate flag and Nazi stuff. And yeah.
Wait, so somebody made these memes and threw them in there, and now I don't know. The problem is, I just wish on a lot of these you knew, like, oh, it's a troll, or this is somebody who truly believes. I mean, who makes this? Who makes a pony holding the rebel flag?
Yeah, well, that's the problem. You never know if the price of entry is you got to like My Little Pony and be a dude. And you don't ask, hey, how do you feel about Hitler?
Yeah.
Or eugenics. So they'd be like, you may find out some stuff when you end up talking to him later. So it's kind of it's a community issue. There you go.
Hey, let me know when we do hit the speed round.
I think we are hitting it next, I think.
I'll need a new sound for that.
We're going to go into speed round. We get to say one thing about each of these and then move on to the next.
Thailand's monkey city overrun by gangs of hungry, horny macaws.
No, macaques. You got to pronounce it right.
Oh, my gosh.
I think Hungry, Horny Macaque would be a fantastic Milton Bradley game.
Is this our speed round right here?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's an excellent. I would say this. 90% these monkeys were just horny, and they threw in the hungry in there just to make it a little safe. But
yeah,
horny damn monkeys.
Yeah, that's the main problem is they're horny, not that they're hungry.
No, I don't want a newsletter. Hamilton's newest coronavirus-themed sculpture, 6 feet from Kevin's Bacon.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. Basically what it is it's I think if I'm reading this right, there used to be a sculpture called Kevin's Bacon, and now they put a ring around it to demonstrate what 6 feet looks like. I got nothing for this one. I just thought it was super weird.
Yeah, that image is even hard to digest. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I can't tell if that bacon's in focus or not. It's a challenge to me.
I don't know, man. Good thing you didn't sign up for the newsletter.
There we go. I'll stay away from that. Loch Ness Monster debate sparked after mystery creature photographed by tourist.
Yeah, the only thing I've got to say about this is I saw on Twitter somebody had thrown this into, apparently there's online Photoshop analysis things that will then, if you throw it in there, it'll circle the parts that it thinks are Photoshopped. Guess which parts of this photo it thought were Photoshopped? Just wild guess. What do you think?
The thing, maybe even the tree, I don't know. Yeah, it definitely is like hovering there. It's just floating.
Yeah.
It doesn't match. So
yeah, so there you go.
Sure, I took this picture. You know what?
As far as you know.
I love it. George R. R. Martin hopes The Winds of Winter will be released in 2021.
I don't think I believe this. That's all I got to say about that. I don't know, man. He's pretty slow.
2021, but it does give you December 31st of 2021.
It does, yeah.
I mean, it does.
Super slow.
So really, you're talking a year and a half. Is that possible? And I don't know how motivated you are. You got to be. I guess you got to love this story because the money is telling you you don't have to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I was clicking. Miley Cyrus reveals she's been sober for 6 months now. Very nice.
The only thing I got about this one is the Fark headline said, "In a row?" Because that's probably accurate.
Can you at least scroll up, suckers? Let me see. All right. Well, that's all we got.
It's a handy video of what Miley Cyrus might look like. Yeah, that's literally it. That's
that's her. That's her.
There you go.
80-pound iguana found dead in freezer at Florida pizza joint.
Yeah, this sucker's been in the news all week. I haven't got a riff on this because that's literally all that happened. They found an 80-pound iguana in a freezer. Incidentally, the article does mention that it wasn't the main freezer; it was a side freezer. As if it's like, okay, so why do they have a side freezer? Is it that's the iguana freezer? Like that's what's? Yeah, I have no explanation for this, but thank you, Florida.
I got it now. Is it possible? I don't know how iguanas work. Aren't they cold-blooded? Could they have thawed this sucker out and he'd just be fine? I don't know.
So actually, to your point, they are cold-blooded. And in fact, we didn't have that article because we haven't been live streaming that long. But about a year or two ago, they had a quick freeze in Florida where people were picking up all the iguanas that fell out of the trees because they kind of seized up. Not realizing they're not dead. They're just like in hibernation or something. And the cops had to pull a guy over I don't think they pulled him over. I think he pulled himself over. He had picked up about 100 of the iguanas thinking they were all dead and threw them in his car.
Oh my gosh.
And then as he's driving down the road, his car got warmer and the iguanas heated up. And the next thing you know, he's got 100 crazy iguanas in his car on the interstate, which is very Florida.
That would be awesome. Someone in Australia is stealing crocodiles and authorities don't know why. How do you know they're missing?
I don't know. The Fark headline for this I like. It said 4 shoes, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably it. What else do you do with them? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, like don't you have an abundance of those suckers? I know Florida isn't too concerned about their alligators.
Yeah. So anyway.
Not kidding around. Woman sues for paternity tests on goats.
Yeah, Florida's been bringing it all week, but there isn't a lot you can go into on this, actually. It turns out, though, that I like that the phrase Nigerian dwarf goats showed up in this article because I feel like at least 2 of those words won't be allowed in 10 years.
Yeah, we're heading into that range for sure. Well, so she wanted to against her neighbor. So they were pregnant when she got him. I don't know.
So apparently it's like she thought the guy was registered goats have higher values, and apparently she doesn't feel like they have the appropriate goat pedigree.
Oh my god!
So she's filing a lawsuit to make sure that the Nigerian dwarf goats are actually Nigerian dwarf.
That's the neighbor you want. That is the neighbor you want. Baby raccoon recovering after jelly jar gets stuck on its head. Oh.
And this is our last quick one. This got put on the DAW tab. I don't know how you write an entire article about this though, but they got a raccoon who had a jar stuck on its head. And now it doesn't.
if I'm the editor, I'm like, this story doesn't run without a photo. Why would we have it without the photo?
There's a little video there. Looks like in the Twitter embed, I think. But
okay, there is. All right.
Yeah,
okay,
I take it.
I take it back. I take it back.
It looks like they're taking the raccoon's head out of the jar.
Right. Wait, what's she doing with that?
Maybe she's putting it back on.
What if she was just like slowly sawing off the head?
No, the media's here. We took it off already. We better reattach the jar because they want to see this.
I like that nobody's helping her. You're like, can I get an extra hand here with this wild animal? Is that possible?
I get it. It's
plastic. Okay. That makes sense that she's cutting it off.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah. That would suck.
So there you
I'm
go.
not a fan of that.
I'll just wait for it to shake real hard. And that's it for our lightning round. I got a couple more.
Okay.
Got a couple more animal stories, though. This one was pretty cute. I could not find a video for this, though, because it looks like there's a video.
Dog runs away from owner to sneak into pets at home store because he loves the guinea pigs.
Yeah, I really like this. I could totally see this. There's a dog apparently that keeps escaping. Basically, that's it. It keeps on leaving to go watch the guinea pigs at the pet store.
Oh, my gosh. I should always check these before.
Dogs like guinea pigs.
They like to just show me all right, I'm skipping that one. Dogs run away.
Yeah, I couldn't find a video for it. It's just a picture of a dog watching guinea pigs, but that's awesome.
Maybe they're tasty.
And finally,
photographer places a microphone next to baby red squirrel who is making adorable eating sounds. Now, I did see this video popping up online, but I didn't have my headphones, so I did not play it.
And that was your chance.
And now's my chance if I can hit the button. Where did it go?
There it is. I heard something.
It
sounded like basketball being played, though. There you go.
Oh, that's cute. All right.
One of my kids does that when he eats. He makes the same noises, actually.
Oh, that is cute. You know, Natalie's been fighting squirrels recently.
Oh, yeah, those bastards.
She would step on that squirrel right at this moment.
There's so many.
She does not take prisoners.
It's a good thing this one's cute, is all I'm saying.
That was the wrong one.
Yeah.
Wait, was that the last one? That was the last one.
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. All right.
All right. Now you know everything that happened, man. It was a busy 24 hours.
That was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of
news stuff. I mean, we obviously had the dog that liked to want to watch guinea pigs, but lots of stuff going on.
I will get into a better mood, and I will. So we're going to do some more streaming, and pass your ideas along to Drew as far as what you want to see. I'll probably be doing Photoshop. I think I can do that one.
It's a good idea to do Photoshop tutorial. I bet people would watch that.
Yeah, but like a fun tutorial. Like, how do you make? I don't know.
Bread. I think we've moved past that because it was like everybody was horny, and then they all wanted bread, and then there were riots. So I think we're like one stage past the bread stage.
How do we do stupid things? I know. Cheer up, Dallin. Come on. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah. You just gotta want it, man.
Yeah, just do it. Just flip that switch. Yeah. Just flip that switch.
Be like me and just drink too much beer, and then you can't feel anything. It's
you know what? That may be the solution. That may be it so far. Yeah. But it's been fun, and hey, I did at least make this background, so that was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I did do that. But let's see. So we got tomorrow. We haven't nailed down what we're going to do on Friday.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We did get a request for more games. I mean, in a pinch, we could always just default to that because that's like no prep. We could just totally do it. Yeah.
Actually, that might be a good one. Yeah, let's think on games. Let's do that. That'd be fun for everyone.
That might work. We might make it a free for all and just open it up to everybody and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened anyway. So we might as well just go with it.
Well, and I think on our test it worked best because it was that way. It was that way. So
also, somebody called me out, and I think it was one of the moderators too. Actually, no, it was one of the submitters. Who was Dr. Faye. Now that I think about it, because he was actually playing the game, who made some kind of comment about you could probably do better than Drew playing Quiplash when blind drunk. And the funny thing was, he's not wrong. I was about halfway there, not on purpose. We just started late. I mean, not late on his schedule, but 8 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I muddled through anyhow, but it wasn't my best effort.
You didn't make it. Hey, Matthew.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we shall see you on the morrow. Bye.